one of the most famous Japanese ghost story ever written in Japan. It is known as Yotsuwa Kaiden, and it tells the story of a woman who poisoned by her unfaithful husband and her disfigured ghost returned from the death to extract revenge. Oiwa was a beautiful young woman who lived in a small town of Japan. Her boyfriend's name was Lemon, and although he did not have much money, she was enjoyed when her childhood sweetheart asked her to marry him. After the wedding, they moved in together, and the happy couple were soon expecting a baby. Oiwa did not care that Lemon was poor, but as time went on, he became angry and depressed about his lack of prospect. Lemon soon grew to hate his happy young wife and started to affair with a rich but old lady named Omi. He romanced her for months and eventually she fell in love with him, despite his poverty and the fact that he was already married. Oime was ready to marry him. One day, Oime came to see Lemon and told him that my father want to talk to him. He came and said, "What a shame, Lemon. You are already married." Because his daughter loved him so much, he could not do anything. The father went on to tell him all the way that he could ensure his future son in law wealth and success. Lemon spent a great deal of time thinking about what Oime's father had told him. An evil plot began from here. He decided that the only way he could marry Omi was to somehow to get rid of Oiwa and her unborn child. He thought that the easiest way to do this was to secretly poison Oiwa and make it look like she had died because of natural cause. Poor Oiwa was totally ignored of her husband's murderous plan. She continued to happily prepare for the birth of their baby. One evening, when Oiwa and Lemon were sitting down to eat dinner, she noticed her husband was strangely quiet and nervous. She encouraged him to eat his dinner, but he would not touch his food. He yelled at Oiwa and told her to stop fretting and eat her own meal. Oiwa finally gave up, trying to tame Lemon's appetite and started to eat her dinner. It wasn't long before she felt very sick. Lemon watched her coldly as the poison did its work, not offering her any help or comfort, but Oiwa did not die right away. Her beautiful face became disfigured from the poison first. Then she slipped into unconsciousness. Eventually, Oiwa woke from the coma, remembering nothing of the poisoning. She had lost her baby, and her face was ugly and terrible. But Oiwa lived. Lemon was desperate. He played the part of the concerned husband, but he was looking for any way possible to rid himself of his wife. One evening, he took Oiwa for a long walk. They made their way to a cliff. Lemon looked around and see if anyone was nearby. No one was in sight. Lemon pushed Oiwa off to the ledge. Her broken body was recovered, and Lemon gave her the best funeral he could afford, spending all of his money in a great show of martial devotion. Thinking his worries were over, Lemon planned his wedding to Omi. The night before the marriage was to take place, Lemon noticed his bedside lamp was dimming. He looked at it curiously as it seems to be changing. The disfigured face of Oiwa suddenly replaced the lamp, growing larger and larger in the room. "Betrayal!" it hissed. Lemon grabbed a stick and swung at the face, but Oiwa disappeared, and the lamp smashed and fell on the floor. Lemon thought he heard the faint laughter of a woman from outside. shaken. Lemon convinced himself that the vision was simply a result of drinking too much alcohol earlier in the evening and went to bed. Next day, Lemon had forgotten all about the spectre of the night before. He and Omi were wed. When he lifted her veil, however, her beautiful face was replaced with Oiwa's horrible visage. Betrayal! She hissed. The horrified Lemon drew his sword and swung it at the costly partition, cutting Oiwa's head off. The severed head rolled down, but when it came to a stop, it has Oimi's face, not Oiwa's. He heard the faint sound of laughter again. Lemon ran to his tiny house, looked for a place to hide. There was pounding at the door, and Oimi's grandfather demanded that he open it. With Lemon did, when Lemon did so, Oiwas was standing there. Betrayal! She hissed again. Once again, Lemon tried to decapitate her. But when his sword finished its work, it was Omi's grandfather that lay dead. Lemon ran off the cliff. Oiwa's laughter following him. He stopped at the edge and looked down, perhaps changing his mind. Passerby reported seeing a woman push Lemon off the cliff before she jumped after him, laughing all the way down. My revenge is over.